to Deep Sleep Stories. Thank you to everyone who's been listening. If these stories help you relax or fall asleep, a short review, comment, or sharing the podcast with someone who might benefit is a simple and meaningful way to support the show so that we may continue to offer it for free. Now, take a slow, gentle breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Hello and welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. You've arrived at a safe, gentle space where each breath you take can bring you closer to the comforting hush of night's embrace. All around you the day winds down, ready to slip into the soft hush of twilight. This evening you are invited to explore a quiet place touched by a hint of magic. A winding woodland in Poland known as the Crooked Forest, where trees bow and curve as if caught in a graceful dance at dusk. As you settle in, allow your breathing to slow. Inhale softly, filling your lungs with soothing calm, and exhale, releasing all the day's worries. Notice how your shoulders begin to loosen and how the gentle weight of relaxation starts to rest upon your eyelids. For these next moments, let yourself drift. Let the story unfold in your mind like a quilt of calm, each piece woven from the threads of soft footfalls, murmuring winds, and the mysterious whisper of crooked pines. In this peaceful introduction, you can feel the hush settle around you, wrapping you in gentle reassurance. The air, tinged with the subtle sweetness of pine needles, beckons you forward. Each breath releases tension. Each exhalation carries you deeper into a realm of comfort. Just beyond, you sense a wide sky painted in dusky pinks and purples, soft as a watercolor dream. Imagine that evening light spread across tall, whispering pines, guiding you toward a place where the day surrenders to stillness. Close your eyes a moment longer if you wish. Notice the way your body relaxes a little more with every second, as if gravity itself has gently increased its embrace to cradle you in repose. The hush of the approaching night invites you to step lightly into that peaceful realm of rest. Feel the edges of your thoughts begin to smooth, no longer sharp or hurried, but drifting like small leaves on a quiet stream. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply, let us shift into the heart of our story, where a gentle presence walks through a twilight forest, a place where curved trunks and whispering leaves hold secrets only the dusk can reveal. Beneath a sky brushed with the final glow of daylight, a lone traveler makes their way along a narrow path in the Polish countryside. Each step upon the packed earth gives off a muffled sound, for the soil here is soft and receptive, still gently warmed by the sun that has only just slipped below the horizon. This traveler, wrapped in the hush of evening, carries a quiet curiosity. The air smells of damp moss and fragrant pine, reminiscent of a comforting hearth. Overhead, a small handful of stars begin to glimmer, waiting for the last ribbons of daylight to fade so they can shine more boldly. Ahead lies the Crooked Forest, a strange and wondrous grove known for its distinctive trees. Countless pines bend at their trunks, curving in a manner that seems both artful and enigmatic. At dusk, The silhouettes of these trees take on an otherworldly grace, as though they are bowing in reverence to the evening. The traveler feels the hush intensify upon entering the grove. The crooked trees stand like silent guardians, their curved forms gently illuminated by the fading light that streams in patches between them. Soft footfalls rustle the pine needles sprinkled across the path, creating a steady, rhythmic sound that adds to the tranquil atmosphere. In the hush of this place, the traveler finds that each step resonates with the muted pulse of the forest itself. A gentle breeze stirs the tops of the crooked pines, urging them to sway in unison, their branches bowing and rising as though conducting a lullaby. The bark, textured and knotted, gives each trunk its own distinctive character, a tapestry of twisting lines marking years of growth and quiet perseverance. The setting feels mysterious but not unwelcoming, as though the forest has grown accustomed to listening more than speaking. Its personality seems to whisper from the shadows. As the traveler walks, the path grows softer still. A light carpet of pine needles thickens underfoot, muffling footsteps until they are hardly louder than the gentle hush of breath. The air carries a slight chill, tinged with an earthy aroma that mingles with the faint perfume of budding wildflowers. Subtle shapes loom ahead as the trees curve and bend in unison, a scene reminiscent of a protective arch. Fireflies begin their evening dance, tiny points of light floating between the trunks like wandering stars. Yet there is no urgency to press on. The traveler lingers by a particularly striking pine, gently curved as if bowing in greeting. Moonlight seeps through the canopy, casting a faint glow along the tree's bark. The traveler brushes a hand lightly across its surface, feeling the coarseness of the wood and noticing how the lines meander, much like the path. Here in the crooked forest, nature's artistry feels deliberate. Each curve appears placed with some hidden intention, even if it's known only to the forest itself. In this restful dusk, the traveler's heartbeat steadies to the forest's rhythm. A soft, rustling sound draws the eye toward a small clearing. The traveler moves slowly, allowing curiosity to guide them. Rays of the waning light catch fleeting shapes. A faint outline of a sleeping fox, perhaps, or the tail of a squirrel scurrying up a trunk. The air thickens with the evening quiet, the kind that invites deeper listening. A single bird calls from a distant branch, its note echoing through the hush, as if acknowledging the presence of an unfamiliar companion in these parts. In the stillness, thoughts calm and settle, drifting like mist through the trees. The traveler's senses heighten, aware of the rich tapestry woven here, the subtle music of a gentle wind, the soothing chorus of insects, and the faint crackle of twigs underfoot. Each breath tastes of the forest's secret life, an ancient, cyclical wisdom that resonates with hearts seeking repose. Here, the traveler feels safe, wrapped in the hush of nature's embrace. Time seems to soften its edges, allowing minutes to melt away, without the weight of hurry or responsibility. The traveler notices how the curvature of each pine trunk catches the last vestiges of twilight, bending them into shapes that feel larger than life. A faint glow remains in the western sky, pressed low against the horizon, illuminating the base of the pines with a gentle pastel hue. Like silent watchers, these pines hold their graceful arcs toward the world, ever mysterious, yet comforting in their consistency. Lulled by the soft breath of the wind, the traveler decides to follow an even narrower trail, half hidden by the forest's undergrowth. Moss blankets, stones, and creeps across fallen branches, creating a plush, emerald tapestry. As the traveler's foot touches the moss, it sinks slightly, inviting them to tread lightly and savor the softness. Each quiet step is slow, deliberate, as if moving in step with the forest's own heartbeat. The hush deepens, broken only by the occasional crackle of dried leaves or the sleepy call of a bird preparing to nest for the night. Shadows lengthen, folding into one another, merging the shapes of bent pine trunks and the deeper hollows of the forest floor. The traveler's eyes adjust, discovering subtle details in the half-light. The glimmer of dew gathering on a low fern, the silhouette of a gnarly root that emerges from the earth like a hidden sculpture. The forest, though crooked and curved, feels filled with tender acceptance. No breath of harm lingers here, only a calm invitation to be still and listen. Eventually, the narrow path opens onto a small clearing that sits like a quiet pocket in the midst of tall pines. Here the moonlight is brighter, shining unobstructed from the open sky. Clusters of wildflowers bow gently in the nighttime breeze, their petals reflecting a soft luminescence. The traveler stands in the center, breathing slowly, absorbing the gentle energy of the place. Leaves whisper overhead, a subtle, soothing hush that lulls the mind. The presence of the crooked forest seems to cradle all who enter, encouraging a reflection on the deeper rhythms of nature, cycles of growth, quiet adaptation, and unspoken fellowship among living things. Sensing a comfortable spot near the roots of one particularly curving pine, the traveler settles onto the ground. The bark of the pine rises around the trunk in swirling patterns, and the roots, gnarled and sturdy, form a gentle seat. The air is moist but not cold, and the ground yields just enough to feel welcoming. Back resting against the trunk, the traveler listens to the tapestry of night sounds, a distant hoot of an owl, the rustle of small creatures scurrying through the underbrush, the faint hum of nighttime insects spinning their own lullaby. Overhead, the branches of the pine loom in a comforting arc, as if reaching out to shelter this solitary visitor. For a few moments, the traveler closes their eyes, letting their senses drift in this cocoon of stillness. The forest breathes around them, soft, slow, rhythmic. The branches, stirred by the gentle wind, sway like dancers in a silent ballet. Even the ground, once bright with sunlit greens, now appears silver and pale under the moon's watchful eye. Gradually, the traveler feels their thoughts, once jostling and busy, dissolve into the hush. An easy calm descends, as if the forest itself were offering silent words of reassurance. Beyond the traveler's quiet resting place, a faint path runs deeper into the trees, beckoning gently. Eventually, with a soft inhalation, they rise to continue their meandering walk. The traveler's footsteps merge with the forest's hushed chorus, neither harsh nor disruptive, but a note in the wider melody of twilight. Each bent pine stands as a silent witness, their unusual curves outlined by slivers of moonlight. One might imagine the trunks arching in quiet conversation, passing along stories from one end of the grove to the other. This whisper of connection between trees feels like a living tapestry, woven with the threads of countless evenings like this one. A gentle slope appears, guiding the traveler down to a small creek that winds through the forest. The water, though shallow, glimmers beneath the moon, its surface reflecting pale light. Large stones jut out along the bank, cushioned by moss. The traveler steps carefully across a few of these, pausing to watch the water swirl around pebbles and driftwood. Overhanging branches dip their tips into the current, as if tasting the coolness of the stream. In the tranquility, each moment seems stretched and made precious. The soothing murmur of trickling water is a balm of sound, echoing the forest's lull. Crossing the creek, the traveler follows the curve of the bank, the soft ground muffling each footstep. A subtle scent of water plants mingles with the pungent freshness of pine needles, a scent that feels both ancient and comforting. On the other side of the creek, the forest thickens once more, offering a denser canopy. The crooked trunks here stand a little closer together, their angles more pronounced, as if shaped by hidden forces over many years. The traveler's curiosity is piqued, but rather than hurry, they walk slowly, letting the shapes loom into view at a leisurely pace. The hush of this deeper part of the grove feels profound, almost like a cathedral's silence. Shafts of moonlight weave through the branches, illuminating swirls of mist that cling to the undergrowth. The traveler notices how the mist catches the light, shimmering softly as it drifts. Even the air seems to hold its breath. There is an unspoken sacredness to this place, and the traveler's footsteps slow further, each movement measured and gentle, out of respect for the silent choir of bent pines. An old wooden bench, weathered by time, sits nestled between two curved trunks. It appears as if someone long ago placed it there to admire the forest's mysteries by moonlight. The traveler steps toward it, noticing the worn grain in the wood and the faint growth of moss along its edges. Taking a seat, the traveler breathes in the comforting sense of the forest. The wind offers a quiet lullaby, stirring the treetops with a sound like distant waves. The curved pines seem to stand watch, making space for restful contemplation. With eyes closed, The traveler listens to the forest's subtle heartbeat, a constant hush that resonates through bark and leaf. In time, memories of daily stress fade even further, replaced by the gentle presence of nature in all its midnight splendor. Small forest creatures come alive under the moon, their rustling steps weaving an unintrusive harmony. If one listens closely, they might hear the delicate scrape of a beetle's feet over a fallen log, or the soft flutter of a moth passing by. These tiny details, easily overlooked in daylight's bustle, become wondrous in the stillness. The crooked forest holds them in its nocturnal tapestry, a realm both mysterious and inviting. Rising once again, the traveler moves beyond the bench, tracing a path that loops gracefully around a wide, gnarled pine that bows low to the earth before curving up. The bark is etched with deep grooves, reminiscent of a language written by time. This tree seems older than the others, perhaps one of the first to curve in such a peculiar manner. The traveler steps closer to run a gentle hand over the bark, feeling the ancient texture beneath sensitive fingertips. In that moment, it's easy to sense the forest's enduring patience. Now deeper into the grove, the moonlight grows softer still, filtered by thicker branches overhead. The forest floor is dappled with patches of silver and shadow, an intricate pattern that shifts slightly with each breath of wind. A soft hush envelopes the traveler, as though the forest were gently guiding them toward a place of even greater repose. The wind, now barely a whisper, caresses the needles with feathery strokes, and the traveler's own breathing becomes nearly indistinguishable from the breezes that stir the silent air. Ahead, a subtle glow appears, an opening in the canopy where the moonlight seeps in more generously. The traveler approaches this clearing with a slow, thoughtful pace. In the center stands a group of curved pines, their trunks arcing in such a way that they form an almost perfect circle. Within that circle, the grass is soft, dotted with small white flowers that seem to gather moonlight on their petals. The traveler steps into this circle, feeling the hush deepen. The forest walls around the clearing stand tall and mysterious, each bent trunk leaning in as if eager to hear whispered secrets of the night. This space feels like a hidden sanctuary, a place where nature's voice is both soft and strong. The traveler lingers, letting the quiet grandeur of the moment wash over them. With eyes closed, they imagine the deeper story of these trees, how they might have bent this way together, shaped by the wind, the soil, or a long past event that remains etched into their wooden bodies. There is comfort in the not knowing, a sense of mystery that does not demand an answer, only acceptance. Time meanders onward, unhurried and gentle. Stars intensify overhead, filling the gaps between branches with distant, twinkling lights. The cool hush of the night air is akin to a whisper of repose. In this cradle of arched pines, the traveler's breathing slows, each inhale drawing in the forest's tranquil energy, each exhale letting go of tension. The bright glow of the day is only a memory, replaced by this serene dominion of moon and stars. Thoughts settle like leaves upon still water, each moment a soft invitation to rest. Eventually, the traveler continues on a path that leads gently away from the circle of pines. The forest grows thinner in places, revealing glimpses of open sky through the crooked trunks. A mild slope leads upward, and as the traveler ascends, the hush is accompanied by a softly stirring breeze. At the top of the rise, the traveler pauses, turning to look back at the panorama of pines below. Curving silhouettes dance in the moonlit clearing, and the winding creek reflects a faint silver line among the shadows. It is a place that seems as though it belongs both in this world and somewhere beyond, straddling the boundary between the everyday and the quietly enchanted. Descending along the far side of the hill, the traveler spots a small lantern glow near a cluster of crooked trees. Closer inspection reveals an old wooden signpost, so aged and worn that its original words have almost vanished. A quiet caretaker, perhaps someone who tends to this hidden forest, has left a small, flickering lantern there, its warm light shining gently across the ferns. The traveler feels a sense of warmth and gratitude, as if acknowledging the unseen guardians who preserve these woods. Even in the quiet, the presence of human care adds a comforting note to the hush. Moving onward, the traveler notices the path widening again, leading toward the forest's edge. The shapes of the crooked pines stand tall against the open horizon, their odd angles visible in starlight. There's a subtle rustling from the underbrush, maybe a night creature returning to its den. Each sound blends seamlessly into the tapestry of the forest's evening hush. The traveler, still tranquil, allows the path to guide them, trusting in the gentle flow of this nocturnal journey. A hush blankets everything. Every breath the traveler takes seems mirrored by the forest around them, as if the entire grove breathes in unison. The traveler passes a majestic pine, its trunk twisting gracefully like a dancer caught mid-motion. A single pine cone drops from a branch, landing softly on the mossy floor. Just a small, muted thump that resonates in the stillness. In this gentle place, even the tiniest sounds carry a subtle significance, drawing awareness inward toward calm reflection. As the path continues, the canopy opens up even more. The sky overhead is now bright with stars, scattered like shards of crystal across a deep, velvety blue. The moon, now higher, bathes the crooked forest in a pale glow that lends it an ethereal atmosphere. The traveler feels a sense of quiet awe, reminded of nature's vastness and subtle power. The pines, with their curved trunks, appear as if they are bowing to the sky, paying homage to the cosmic show overhead. Nearing the edge of the forest, the traveler comes upon a small pond. Its surface is nearly still, reflecting both stars and pines in its mirror-like depths. A few reeds sway gently at the water's edge, their soft rustling mingling with the quiet lapping of water against the shore. A short wooden pier extends a few steps into the pond, just enough space for one to pause and gaze into the starlit reflection. The traveler steps onto the weathered boards, feeling them give a little underfoot, and kneels to let fingertips brush the pond's surface. Cool water, serene and hushed, circles around the traveler's reflection. Here, the traveler lingers for a while, resting on the edge of the pier. The forest behind them seems to keep a watchful vigil, protective and still. As the wind drifts across the pond, faint ripples disturb the starlit reflections, creating a gentle dance of moonlit fragments upon the water. Each ripple catches the traveler's eye, lulling their thoughts into further peace. The night deepens, carrying with it a promise of rest, of letting go. The mysteries of the crooked trees, gently holding their silent stories, fade into the hush of the moment. At last, the traveler rises, taking a final grateful glance at the mirrored heavens. Turning from the pond, they notice a faint path winding along the tree line, guiding them back in the direction from which they came. The forest here feels friendlier than ever, as if it has accepted the traveler's presence into its hidden realm. The traveler walks with unhurried calm, each step echoing gently in the quiet that remains unbroken. The path gradually broadens, and the traveler feels the soft promise of an open field beyond. Yet the embrace of the crooked pines still lingers in every breath, infusing the traveler with serenity. Crossing the threshold where forest meets field, the traveler glances back one last time. The silhouette of crooked trunks arcs in the moonlight, creating a scene both mysterious and comforting. A gentle breeze passes, ruffling the traveler's hair, as if whispering a farewell, or perhaps a promise that this forest remains, ever watchful for those who seek its quiet enchantment. And so the traveler continues onward, carrying the memories of starlight and softly curved pines like a soothing echo in the mind and heart. Now, in the quiet aftermath of that gentle journey, let yourself drift into deeper rest. Feel the weight of your body sinking into your bed or favorite resting spot. Notice how your breathing grows slow and soft, like the hush of wind through the pines. Let your eyelids become heavy, soothed by the lingering images of bent trunks under moonlight, of swirling mist over mossy ground, of the creek's silver trickle. Hear the faint echo of the forest's lullaby, a nocturnal hush that invites surrender to sleep. With each breath, you can release any lingering tension in your body, easing your muscles into gentle calm. Think of the traveler's soft footsteps, muffled by pine needles, and feel a similar quiet descend upon your thoughts. No urgency, no worries, just a sweet sense of solace. Imagine the curved trees bowing in gratitude, whispering their good nights to every creature that rests beneath the canopy of stars. Let go of any sense of hurry as the night embraces you. Slow your breath inhaling calm, exhaling peace. The mysterious forest you visited in mind and spirit will remain there, a place of curved grace and moonlit hush, always ready to welcome you again whenever you seek rest or refuge. You are safe here, wrapped in the gentle arms of night and lulled by a distant memory of soft breezes and forest sighs. Allow your heartbeat to settle, your eyelids to grow heavier still. Soften your cheeks, your forehead, the corners of your eyes. Each part of you relaxes, each part of you sinks deeper into that comforting darkness. With the echoes of the crooked forest surrounding you, it's easy to drift, to let the calm carry you. In this soft realm of rest, you can surrender to the deep and restorative sleep that awaits. You've traveled far in the hush of this quiet tale. Let the forest remain in your mind as a place of solace. Let the gentle curve of the pines cradle your dreams in their silent vigil. Draw in one final steadying breath and let go with a sigh that releases all tension. The night is here to cradle you. Let that stillness enfold you, carrying you smoothly into the realm of dreams where every moment is infused with gentle peace. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well.